Yes, this is a great question. So in fact, United Oil and Gas is participating and contributing in three primary ways, which align with three sectors of our company. We have a consulting division, we have a services division, and we have a development and production division. So when you talk about consulting, we are the technical partner with SMPC. So we're working directly with SMPC to support the initiatives that they have currently going on to develop their own resources, which show up in the three fields that we're supporting, which is the Nanga, the Mayom, these are exploration fields. And then lastly, we have the Kokwala, which is a field that was already producing, but requires some workovers to be done to wells. So that's how we're participating in the consulting sector, by working directly with SMPC. And then you have our services division, which is where we EPC, engineer, procure, and construct pipelines and our facilities, and of course the wells. We can turnkey wells for the country of Congo, and we hope to participate in that area as well to expedite and support the advancement of the wells, of course, that we will need to be drilled for these projects. Last but not least, we formed BAMOCO approximately 6 months ago, and the primary target and focus of BAMOCO is to develop and produce resources here in the Congo. So we look and aim to play our part in achieving that 500,000 barrels of oil per day by ultimately also developing some of the resources here in the Congo. On the production side, essentially what we're looking to do is to acquire an equity position in some of the producing assets. And for us, this will be a tier 1 entry into participating in the production side. However, shortly thereafter, after entering into the tier 1 space, we will be looking to develop and acquire interest into assets that need to be developed. To your point, we're hoping to close some of these producing asset transactions within the next 3 months. Now, after we do that, say by the end of 2026, it is our hope, it is our desire, vision, if you will, to be participating in additional projects that will allow us, that will have a need for us to participate from a development. And this will be new incremental production. And then I'll just speak to it. On the consulting side, the projects that we're working has the capacity or potential to be anywhere from 50,000 to 125,000 barrels of new production. That's peak production that I'm speaking to, which will be very substantial. But these initiatives are 100% owned by SMPC. So SMPC is really taking charge of trying to achieve those goals of 500,000 barrels of oil per day. And we're participating in all three sectors. So when you think and talk about or look at project financing, it's all about risk mitigation. So one of the techniques, if you will, that we're doing is we're helping these projects become more attractive to the investor community. So, and by doing that, we will be able to draw on global investors to support the ultimate development and the financial needs of the projects that we're developing. That's Nanga, Mayom, primarily because there's no investment needed for Kokwala. But Nanga and Mayom are the fields that are enormous that will certainly need financial support. So essentially what we're looking to do, and I'll start with our name. Our name is Unite, and this name embodies the whole purpose of what we're trying to accomplish, and that is to unite with the continent, not just the Congo. We're so fortunate to Mr. Ominga for giving us our start and allowing us to begin to do business in the Congo. However, we have a very aggressive initiative to do business with Equatorial Guinea, to do business with Angola, and many other African countries. I was just naming a few. But the talent and our unique way of doing business, we think is certainly something that can be replicated across the country. And we're hoping to do that. I think the key message for me and from Unite here at the Investment Forum is that, sure, there's a goal of achieving 500,000 barrels of oil per day, but that 500,000 barrels per day must be synonymous with profit. And in order to get profit, we know it unleashes value, and that value can be transferred to the Congolese community. A lot of times, as practitioners in the industry, people will say profit, they will say production, but they never really take an intricate look at all of the development aspects and the other aspects and intricate components that need to be worked in order to achieve that profit. So we must look at optimizing CapEx or minimizing CapEx. We must look at minimizing operation expenses. We must look at attracting partners from all over the world to bring unique, innovative techniques. So it is a holistic strategy that will allow ultimately the Congo to achieve all of its goals. It has to be all-inclusive and bring in talents from all over the world.